Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen, and in today's video, we're gonna go book shopping. If this is your very first time watching a video from my channel, make sure you subscribe down below and turn on your notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Also in the description box, you'll find all my social media accounts, including a Patreon that I have just created, and we have a great time down there if you want to join us, as well as my Bookstagram, my Goodreads, and my Twitter account. I was visiting my mom a couple of weeks ago, and around the corner from her house, she has a half-price bookstore and a Barnes & Noble. And so when I went down there for the weekend, I knew that I was going to go book shopping, and I just thought, might as well take y'all with me as I go and spend some money on my favorite thing ever in this world, and that is books. I've never done a book shopping video on this channel, so that's pretty exciting. I just really don't go to bookstores to buy my books. I tend to buy my books online or get them from the library. And so usually when I go to the bookstore, it's for like one book, maybe two, because I also find it to be cheaper to buy my books online. And so if I just want to buy one book, I'm just gonna go and order it online really quickly, as opposed to hopping in my car, driving miles to the bookstore, when I know if I go to the bookstore, I'm going to spend more money than I intend, as opposed to buying the one or two books that I need online. But since I was visiting my mom, we both decided to buy some books from the bookstore. Again, I went to Half Price Books, and then we went to Barnes & Noble. So I'm gonna roll back that footage, and then we'll come back and discuss the books that I ended up buying. You don't know how long I've been looking for Heartstopper Volume 1. I am so happy. I'm definitely getting this one. Just finished reading Truly Devious, so I'm going to need to pick up Box in the Woods very soon, but I think I'm gonna buy that on like Amazon or something because it's way cheaper there. been a couple of weeks since I went book shopping, and I can finally sit down and show you what I bought from the 2 bookstores that I went to. Let's get right into these books that I picked up because I bought a lot of them and I'm super excited to show them off to you guys. From Half Price Books, I bought a total of 3 books, and of course I found them for really good prices, so I'm very happy about that. But also, this particular branch of Half Price Books was really good because, as I'm about to show y'all, I found some bangers, okay? Some deals, some steals. As you saw in the book shopping portion of this vlog, I bought the first volume of Heartstopper by Oseman, which I'm just insanely excited about because I have been trying to grab me a copy of this book for the longest, but I just wasn't liking the pricing that I was seeing. I don't know what was happening. Everybody was trying to buy Heartstopper volume 1, I guess, because on Amazon it was talking like $20-some for a graphic novel, and I'm just getting into graphic novels, so I'm not really trying to spend that much money on them, which is why I'm very excited. I got it for a whopping $9.99. I saw this in the young adult section and I grabbed it so fast, and I just had to show the vlog right then and there and ruin the surprise of what books I ended up buying, but whatever. And if you're late to the party like me and don't really know what Heartstopper is about, we are following 2 high schoolers, Charlie and Nick, who go to the same school and they've never met until one day they sit together and become fast friends. And soon Charlie finds himself falling for Nick and doesn't think that he has a chance with him. But love works in surprising ways, and Nick is more interested in Charlie than he could ever imagine. The second book I bought was kind of like a shock to me because I didn't think I was gonna buy it, but when I walked by it in the bookstore, I was like, oh, you know, I've heard of this book. I read the synopsis and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know it was about that. And so I ended up buying it, and that is going to be the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grqady Hendrix. I just love this cover. I love the title, and I don't know if I love the author because this will be my first time reading a Grqady Hendrix. And in this one, we are following our main character, Patricia Campbell, who has a workaholic husband, teenage children that have their own lives. She's taking care of her mother-in-law, who is old and senile, and her to-do list just never ends. I feel you, sis. Never ends. The only thing that's keeping her sane is her true crime book club. One day, James Harris walks into her life and makes her feel things she has not felt in years. But then children begin to go missing. Patricia begins to wonder if James is behind these missing children or not. The third and final book that I picked up from Half Price Books is Witches Steeped in Gold by Ciannon, which was another one of these picks that I was over the moon about because this is a fairly new release, and for it to already have hit Half Price Books at the price that I got it at, $9.49, like, wow. I was like, there's gotta be a catch to this because there's no way that Witches Steeped in Gold should already be in Half Price Books. But nonetheless, I am very happy that you did donate it to this bookstore because now I have it and I can read it and hopefully I love it. We are following Araya Adair. She is the heir to an overthrown and magically gifted dynasty, but she was exiled from her home when she was just a child. But every day she is inching towards freedom. On the other hand, we have Jasmine Carriot, who was raised in gold and has everything she can ever wish for, all because she has stolen magic at her fingertips. Jasmine is the daughter of royalty, but unlike her sister before her, Jasmine refuses to die in order to strengthen their mother's power. Araya and Jasmine are sworn enemies, but they enter a deadly alliance to take down their common enemy. So that wraps up the 3 books that I bought from Half Price Books, but that is not all because I also went to Barnes & Noble and I bought 4 books from there, which I surprised myself because I was thinking 3 books, but you'll see. The 4 books that I bought, I just couldn't decide which one I didn't want, so I just ended up buying all 4 of them. And yeah, so I might have overdone it a little bit, but really that's what happens when a bookworm goes to the bookstore. There's just no stopping her from buying all the books in the bookstore. The first book I bought from Barnes & Noble's was Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, which I've been meaning to buy and read for the absolute longest, to the point where now the second book in the series is already out, and I meant to read this first book when it first came out. So I told myself that I have to buy this book now or it'll never be bought or read. So this was my one and only opportunity to get this book. The funny thing was that I also saw a copy of this book at half price, and since I went to half price first, I wasn't sure if the book was going to be cheaper at half price or Barnes & Noble, or what the price difference would be between the 2 stores. but I ended up not buying it a half-price book because the version of the book that they had was the hardcover, and it was a different cover than this one. I'm not sure which country cover it was, but it was the other cover of this book, if you know what I mean. I'll put a picture here so you guys can see which cover I'm talking about. But yeah, I didn't want that cover because I want my covers to match. Ooh, Kristen finally wanting her covers to match, unlike my ACOTAR books, but that's for another day. So I told myself that I was gonna wait to see what the pricing was at Barnes & Noble so that I can have this cover of the book. And it was actually only like $1 off. So I was like, yes, I didn't get ripped off, you know? In this book, we have two heirs of very powerful witch doctor families. Ara has yet to show her gifts. So when the kingdom's children begin to vanish, she turns desperately to a forbidden ritual, trading away years of her life in order to find these missing children. But with this borrowed magic, Ara has to face unwanted consequences in return. I think Christine has read this book and loved it, and I've had some other friends read this book recently and they've loved it as well. So again, I just knew that I needed to get this book sooner than later and finally read it. The second book I got from Barnes & Noble is a book that I didn't expect myself to buy, but after reading the synopsis and just it's a popular book in the book community, I was like, actually this sounds very good and I want to read it. And so that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. In this book, we're following Avery Grams, who plans on finishing high school, winning a scholarship to college, and getting out of town. But her luck changes when a billionaire dies and leaves basically his entire fortune to her. But there is a catch to this wonderful news. Avery must move into the billionaire's mansion full of riddles and secret passages. This billionaire's family, who he just disinherited, is also occupying this mansion, including the 4 grandsons of this billionaire, who grew up thinking that they were gonna inherit millions. So Avery just has to survive and live in this home with this billionaire's grandsons and just figure it out so she can win her money. The last 2 books that I got is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This has been around for a couple of years. I've seen it going on, but I just never picked it up. Okay, the lighting was acting really weird, so I had to do a little finagling around. So I hope the change in lighting isn't too drastic. Back to Wicked Fox. We are following 18-year-old Yu Myung. Audiobooks save lives. I'm gonna get all the pronunciations right very soon. She's a Gumiho, which is a 9-tailed fox, and she must consume the life force of men every full moon or die herself. And she only kills when she has to because she truly hates the act of killing. And when she does kill, she only chooses those who are guilty of crimes. When Myung finds Ji-hoon, a handsome human boy her age, being violently attacked by a goblin in the woods, she ends up saving him, which violates all the rules that she grew up on. My last and final book that I bought during this wonderful book shopping experience is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I've never read a V.E. Schwab book, but I do own the first book in the Darker Shade of Magic series, as well as The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I just haven't gotten to any of her books. And now I'm adding a third one to my list of V.E. Schwab books that I need to read. But I'm super excited about this book. The synopsis sounds amazing. In this book, we are following Victor and Eli, who started off as college roommates. In their senior year, they have a shared research interest. Seemingly supernatural events reveal an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions, somebody could develop some sort of power and ability. But when their thesis moves from academic to experimental, things go horribly wrong. So what I've heard about this book is that it's basically like the villains are the main character, a villain origin story. And I love that. That's why I love Wicked the musical, because I just be vibing with the villains more than the main characters sometimes. So I have no doubts that this book is going to hit. That wraps up all 7 books that I bought at the 2 bookstores where I went book shopping a couple of weeks ago. I don't know where I'm gonna put these on my bookshelf because I've basically run out of space. And I don't even know what I'm gonna read these books because it's not like I didn't have any unread books on my shelf already, but bookworms like us love to buy books and add to our collection. And you know, we'll get to these books eventually, but for now, they can look pretty on my bookshelf when I just smush them into a corner or something. But I hope you guys enjoyed this book shopping with me vlog. I definitely plan to do some in the future. If you've read any of these books that I've bought, comment down below what your thoughts and opinions are. That is all I have for you guys today. Again, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel down below and that you have your notification bell on so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And in the description box, I do have all of my social media account links there, including my Patreon, Bookstagram, Goodreads, and Twitter. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!